Hey Booze, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Brittany, and today we are at the Bolsa Chica Wetlands, specifically the Bolsa Chica Gun Club. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. I usually always like to pack a little bit of a history foundation at my locations, just so you kind of know a little bit about what's up and, you know, who used to live there, what kind of residual spirits might still be around. But this is a doozy because we are going back like 9,000 years, guys. The Native Americans have been carbon dated to this area, living here like 4,000 years before the Egyptians even started building the pyramids. Does that like blow your mind or what? So that being said, let's get into it. It is believed the Bolsa Chica Wetlands were once living quarters and burial grounds of ancient Native Americans such as the Tongva or the Ahachiman over 9,000 years ago. They lived seasonally and non-violently on the upper mesas and were known to be hunter-gatherers living solely off the land. These unusual cogstones dating back 6,000 to 7,000 years ago can only be found here at Bolsa Chica. Historians believe this region may have been like a cogstone factory since several have been unearthed throughout the wetlands. Its uses are unknown and mysterious to this day, but some believe they were used in ceremonies or rituals, making Bolsa Chica possibly a significant ceremonial site. The year is now 1768, and the Spanish are starting to set up missions along the coast of California. The Tongva tribe was renamed the Gabrielinos and forced into labor and service, like slaves, at the Mission San Gabriel. The Ahachiman were renamed Juaneños and forced into service at Mission San Juan Capistrano. Once Spain colonized California, Spanish officials created vast land grants called ranchos. One of the largest land grants in the region belonged to Manuel Nieto. In 1848, after California joined the Union, law required all original Spanish land grants to be registered, so the Nieto family had to borrow money to pay for their land, and when they were unable to repay the loans, their land was divided into 5 smaller ranchos, which ended up being purchased by Abel Stearns. In this next clip is an interview with local historian Chris Epstein and Bill Kettler.
I used to always, after rain, go to the middens. There are 4 middens, which are the garbage heaps of the Indian.
And we see middens
shells
around here.
Yeah.
You can see bits of shell that date back to Native Americans, right? Like right where we're sitting right now.
I had been looking in the midden that was over here a little bit. It was pretty good because of all the rain. And I just happened to notice out of my sight of my vision that there was something shining over about 50 yards away. So and on a slope.
Right.
So I went over there, and there was a skull.
A human skull.
Human skull. This was lima bean country, and so I don't even remember what I told my mom or what. But
you collected a skeleton, though?
Oh yeah. When I got back and started digging, I found another skeleton, and they both were sitting down, but neither one of them had any artifacts. And so we went to the Huntington Beach Cemetery. And because I was, at that time, what most people know as an undertaker, I knew the people at Huntington Beach Cemetery real well.
At Good Shepherd it is, right?
Yeah.
They're at Talbot Beach.
Yes. And so they buried them, and I said, I don't even want to know where. And they said, well, we'll put them in an unmarked grave. So it might be in the records, but I don't know
But
where.
they're there today in an unmarked grave at Good Shepherd, the skeleton.
So in 1930, a rancher was plowing his field and discovered more than 100 skeletons in the upper mesas. The remains revealed they were all men, and the teeth indicated they were from individuals in their late teens to early 40s. But was there a battle? The Native Americans of the region were not warlike. Could the Spanish or Russian otter fishermen been responsible? We do know that the Russians killed many warriors and carried away their women, so finding a mass grave with only men could point to this possibility. Gun clubs were really popular in the late early 1900s. They would hunt duck, geese, and quail, and it was sort of like an exclusive men's club. There were 38 gun clubs during this time period in the Orange County area alone. Some with just humble shack-like cabins to clean your catches and stuff, while some were a little larger with more than one room. This is a picture of the Los Patos Gun Club, which would have been over by where the Huntington Harbor Mall is today. And this was the Lomita Gun Club, which was over by where Harborview Elementary School is. Now, the Bolsa Chica Gun Club comes about when this particularly popular gun club that was owned by John Irvine over by the San Joaquin Marsh, by UC Irvine, refuses to renew the gun club lease, forcing a man by the name of Count von Schmidt to start looking for a new location. Well, he discovers the Bolsa Chica Wetlands with its lower shelf overlooking the ocean underneath the Pacific Flyway, which is like a natural bird highway, making it the most ideal hunting spot. Von Schmidt forms the Bolsa Land Company in 1899, and they purchase 1,160 acres, and for $25,000 they began to build the Bolsa Chica Gun Club, and Von Schmidt would be the first president of the club. This was going to be the most luxurious gun club to be built thus far. It would be a large L-shaped building made of beautiful redwood and cedar, resembling an old English tavern, which could host up to 50 people at a time. The inside would reveal polished redwood paneling with several immense brick fireplaces and huge andirons that would burn whole sections of a large tree. A stunning main parlor with masculine wood furnishings to enjoy socializing with a libation and a cigar. This is one of the only known photos of what the interior would have looked like. These men that were members wanted privacy. There was no press allowed up there. They didn't want this place documented. They wanted to keep it private. They hired famous piano players to come and play the piano and organs to serenade the members. They brought the finest chefs and the most expensive bottles of wine from Los Angeles to prepare and serve their meals. They even had gourmet meals delivered to their hunting blinds. There were sleeping rooms for every member, which they could reserve to stay in for a few days at a time, making for many getaways. It had libraries, sheds for the game to be hung, and a labeled hook for each member. It was so large it required staff to live on the premises full-time to take care of the grounds and its guests. They built servant quarters to house the staff and their families, boathouses, barns, animal pens, in which they raised their own cows, chickens, and turkeys, and grew their own vegetable gardens so they could be self-sustaining in feeding its exclusive members. Ponds of various shapes and sizes were dredged out of the wetlands and stocked with black bass so members could fish during the off-seasons. In 1899, it was almost like a little city in the middle of nowhere before Mr. Huntington's Red Line train was built, and it would take 2 days by horseback to arrive from Los Angeles, Pasadena area, where most of the members were residing. Members could invite guests to the lodge to hunt, but visits by wives, children, and family members were strictly limited to certain days of the week. Shooting was limited to twice a week, but the hunting was so good, it was said one could hit their limit by noon. Tidal flow made for unfavorable hunting conditions, so they hired contractor Tom Talbert to build a dam across the Freeman Creek Channel. Specialized gates in the dam allowed fresh water to flow out but prevented salt water from flowing in. Within a short time, Inner Bolsa Bay had been transformed from a saltwater marsh to freshwater ponds. The dam also caused the ocean inlet to accumulate sand, which soon led to the outer Bolsa Bay being blocked from tidal flow. This was devastating to the natural environment of the area. In 1900, the club hired Talbert again to cut a channel through the mesa between Bolsa Bay and Anaheim Bay. This channel can still be seen today flowing under the Warner Avenue Bridge. Before the gun club was built, farmers, fishermen, and others used the Freeman Creek to get through the wetlands by boat to access the shoreline. When the gun club blocked the route with the dam, the farmers protested. They formed an organization called the Westminster Farmers Club and filed a lawsuit against the club. In 1903, it began to become an outright feud. The lawsuit was in defense of the farmers' right to use the river for commerce and navigation, a right protected under state and federal constitutional law. The public trust and newspapers began to pick up on this fight. They were nearly having standoffs at the gun club like it was the OK Corral. These farmers were so sick and tired of these ignorant, cocky millionaires who came in, took over, and started sealing off waterway access. Fences and bridges were torn down with guards on them, guns cocked and pointed between the gun club and the farmers. One of the millionaires are quoted saying, "There is no use of your kicking. We have got the most money, and we are bound to win. When your money is all gone, we will not even miss what we spent in this fight." These elite industrialists are used to getting their way and will fight whoever tells them otherwise. The Orange County farmers pled their case at the state and federal level and even petitioned President Theodore Roosevelt to do something to stop the gun club. But the gun club members have the upper hand, the political influence is in their pocket, and ultimately would retain the control of the Freeman Creek, and the farmers and others that relied on the waterway for commerce and navigation were out of luck. Well, a few years later, in 1907, the gun club people are starting to piss everybody off in town. The farmers and the local hunters want opportunities to shoot at these surroundings of the wetlands, just like the members. And why shouldn't they? The State Game Commission settles in their favor, announcing that hunters who keep 100 feet from shore are safe from arrest. It also announces that if the gun club puts up a fence, the obstruction will be taken down. During this same year, a large brown whale washes ashore directly across from the gun club, leaving a pleasant sight and odor for all the elite members to enjoy. One of the notable members of the gun club was Henry Huntington. His desire to develop in the area led him in 1904 to bring his Pacific Electric red car line into what was then known as Pacific City. On July 4th, 1904, the red line cars made its way into Pacific City with the arrival of 50,000 people. A parade was organized to celebrate its welcome and has been a tradition here in Huntington Beach for the last 120 years. Henry Huntington purchased the city in the years to come and was renamed after him. The popularity of automobiles saw the demise of the Red Line in the 1950s. Huntington Beach really boomed when oil was discovered in 1920. The Bolsa Chica Gun Club quickly signed an oil and gas lease with the Standard Oil Company of California that would allow for them to begin oil extraction in between and around the Bolsa Chica Wetlands. This contract specified that the initial bonus of $100,000 and subsequent revenues would be split 50-50 between the Bolsa Chica Gun Club and the Bolsa Chica Land Trust. However, the lowlands were not drilled until 1940 when Signal Oil Company took over the lease. They constructed the network of service roads that can be seen in much of the southern half of the reserve today. In the 1940s, it was feared that Japan would attack California, so the U.S. Army acquired the Bolsa Chica lands and a military reservation was established. The gun club became the barracks, a couple of bunkers were built on the upper mesas, and a long-range gun emplacement were constructed on the bluffs overlooking the Bolsa Bay. The remnants of these emplacements can be seen on the northern end of the ecological reserve that were fired only for testing purposes. All that is left are their circular frame. The larger of the two bunkers was said to have 18 underground rooms that could store people, supplies, ammo, food, and surplus. It was demolished in 1995. The smaller support bunker still exists, but is closed off from public access.
It is.
I bet you this is your way in.
Oh, we probably have to take the rock off.
I don't have a flashlight. Where do you think it goes down? River, should we put you down there and see if you fit?
I would probably fit.
You would totally fit. I just don't know how far down it goes.
Probably way.
Oh, dude. There's no way I could get that rock out of that hole. It's probably heavy. But look at over here.
School bus. Daddy could.
Look at. This is for sure where the old bunker is. Look at. Then over here, you got the other air vent. Dude, they probably put like concrete over it.
Yeah.
But I bet you just lifted it up right here.
Yeah.
But I bet you there's probably like a ladder or something that goes down.
Yeah, because I saw one like on a video.
I bet you that other video that I have, they probably just dug all the way down to the opening right there. You think?
Probably.
Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the only opening was from the top.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's pretty cool that we found something. Yeah, like what's over here too? Like why is this old wood here? Yeah, like what is this?
But I'm thinking of
Like what is that part of? Was that part of like...
a ladder. Look at, we can go in there. We can go there. See? Oh, a wizard! Wizard, I see a wizard.
Like underneath all of these like flowers and stuff. Like, look at all those old rocks and concrete. For sure there was like things under here.
For sure there was a bunker. Probably not a bunker, but
Like over here, like look at over here too. Or maybe they just, no. I don't see anything over here. That was just making like bike ramps. Here's a clip that I found on YouTube of some local boys that dug their way into the entrance of one of the old bunkers. It's pretty cool. Check it out.
Yeah, they're blast doors.
What's this? That's a garbage can.
That's a vent of some sort.
That's the hole. Wow. We gotta dig more. Maybe when we're going out, we can dig more fish.
We should see. They used to use these as those would just be the vents and stuff. And this would have been.
We should do this place up for Halloween. We have to like crawl.
Dude, let's do some CQB in here.
Gun.
Hey, tunnel. Are you digging it out?
Wow.
How's your breath? You good?
I'm fine. I have stronger lungs.
Yeah, it's fine. No, I mean like musky. I'm musky because I have this face mask thing on. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
Dude,
This is awesome.
you should bring a girl here.
Yeah, dude. I wonder how.
Dude, a hobo lived in here. This was a fire, dude.
What if we find like an armory?
Dude, look at this.
Yeah, the ceiling's charred. You're right.
Wow. Carry him in.
No, come here. You know how big this place is. The fish is going.
Pull the door cover.
See, and this would be like this would probably be like a planning room. Dude, we might find some old things on the walls. Kill your... Great.
We checked in there, remember?
What was in it?
Nothing. It's just a ton of pipes.
Yeah, it's not very big either.
Something grabs fish. Hold on.
Guys.
Hello! Just make sure it's like we... Brian, what's here?
Dude, imagine.
Oh, this is a vent. You can even see the things that would normally dug.
Fish. Boy, you know, fish on the spring mountains.
There's your Metallica killing all.
These bunkers could supposedly hold 15,000 people. There are so many remnants and outcrops of what it would have looked like back then. If you were looking at a map, the gun club property was in the square, and the larger bunkers would have been back in the circle area. Well, they had to feed these guys, so directly down the path going towards the beach, they had a giant meat locker where they would cure meats and basically have like a cold storage to feed the soldiers that were living at the gun club barracks. This was that meat locker. When the war was over, a man named Virgil Brewster saw the demand for ice during those war years and the potential to repurpose the meat locker as a thriving ice house for the residences and the businesses. He bought what became Brewster's Ice and moved it to downtown off Main in 6th Street. When you go by there today, remember it as a piece of World War II history. That was the meat locker that contained the food that kept the soldiers fed that were stationed at the Bolsa Chica Gun Club. In the 1950s, the beach below Bolsa Chica became known as Tin Can Beach. Campers and squatters lived in the area for months at a time in makeshift shacks and shanties constructed of cardboard, tar paper, and scrap lumber. When the state purchased the beach in 1961, it was cleaned of 300-ton piles of garbage and established the Bolsa Chica State Beach, which is now one of the most popular beach attractions in Southern California. It is also the home of one of the best surf schools in the entire world. Shout out to Corky Carroll Surf School. Hey guys, I forgot to film my outro, so make sure you tune into the next video where we take some ghost hunting tools to the old Bolsa Chica Wetlands and see what we can get. Ghost, until next time. Peace.